it's really fascinating to see the evolution of just people in general, or I guess this would not be evolutionary nor an adaptation. I'm not sure what it is. So many of you know I have a second channel called Spooky Adventures, where we explore the paranormal, the supernatural, and the unexplained. Phenomenal channel. Love it, by the way. Not a ton of following, and that's okay. It's all about fun. And, well, anyways, I created a TikTok a while back to kind of start that going a little bit. And so over the weekend, I posted a video on TikTok for that, Spooky Adventures. So if you want to head over there and follow, you can. Well, it got like over 300,000 views. And I had like at the time, like 100 followers on TikTok. So basically it popped off. And when you have a video pop off like that, you get obviously a lot of recognition. You get a lot of people commenting. Now, what I find fascinating, I promise you there's a point to this. It's not just to plug my Spooky Adventure stuff. People, this threw me for a loop. People are way more rude and being a-holes to me with Spooky Adventures than they ever been with me in politics. Think about that for a second. It threw me for a loop. You should read the hateful comments I am getting on Spooky Adventures, which is supposed to be a fun channel that's freaky deaky, that we all kind of like get scared in, and it's supposed to be entertaining and stuff. It was remarkable. The attacks, the name calling, the rudeness, unbelievable. Folks, if you're going to do this industry, you got to have a thick skin. And let me tell you, I found it hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So anyways, that's a thing. Now, what I find fascinating is people are willing to leave a comment on a video that they don't like. When I would say, I was thinking about this in the shower today before the show. This is where I do a lot of my thinking. Where nowadays, all you literally have to do, you see your fingy here? See this thing? It just keeps moving. I'm not even controlling it. I don't even know what's going on right now. This is crazy. You can just swipe it or swipe up, right? Easier than ever. You guys remember, this is all for the old timers. Remember when we used to get up off the couch and actually turn the knob on the TV to change the channel because there was no remote? Yeah, see, millennials, I'm overlapping multiple generations with my age group because I had to get up off the couch and just turn the dial. You know where you put your head up to the TV and it's all staticky in the bulb? Yeah, I had one of those. Yeah, at least there was an excuse of like, why do I have to watch this? Yeah, I was the remote. Yes, and I was the remote even when there was a remote for my grandma. I would be in the other room. Hey, Brad, can you come out here and change the channel? Turn up the volume? Not kidding. That's a real thing. So anyways, I just always found it fascinating. Like if you don't like something more, it's like easier than ever to like swipe it. You know what I mean? You just do one of these. Boop, 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 boop. Anywho, thought you guys would find that interesting because I did. Now, have I gotten death threats doing the Ball Brad show? Absolutely. So I guess there is a contention there. I haven't got any death threats doing Spooky Adventures yet, which would be kind of odd, right? That you're doing a show about basically the dead, and then people are throwing death threats at you. I mean, there is some irony there, really. And that would be almost poetic, actually. Very poetic. But you'll see people are not nice. Anyway, speaking of that, let's jump into the news. Enough of me. Enough of talking about me. It's not all about you, Brad, okay? I get it. All righty. Well, this is good news. I told you if you were part of Dark MAGA last night, I was going to try to do some good news today. Trump has cleaned up the streets, man, and people are loving it. I mean, really, they're doing interview after interview after interview of people in D.C. that actually live there. They're going, it's nice. You know what was weird? I'll see if I can find it randomly. There was a lady in D.C., a black woman, that says that she's lived there, and it is almost spiritual the way she was talking. She was talking how it's almost as if it's not like dark anymore. Like it's not evil. There's something in the air, she said, that's just different now in DC. Well, in less than a month, Donald Trump's enforcement operations have resulted in more than 1,000 arrests in less than a month. People are begging to come to their cities. And please understand, like my job here is to do nothing but swipe all day and read headlines and news and articles to kind of see and fill in whatever I don't cover here on the show. And what I mean by that is, you guys know when I pull up an article, I haven't read it before. So I'm able to weave, as Donald Trump calls it, he calls it weaving, in other information for all of you. This is great. Nice job, Mr. President. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this guy was not going to just try to be the peacemaker president? You know, he wasn't just going to fix everything that Joe Biden destroyed, but the guy is now fixing Democrat cities. What can't Trump do? That's real. I guess that's a question we should all be asking. What can't Donald Trump do? The guy's a remarkable human being. We're never going to get another one like him. Like I said, we're going to bask in all Donald Trump's glory. Absolutely love the guy. And you know what? You know what? When you talk like that, you know what the Democrats say? Oh, look at you. You're in a cult. That's your cult leader. Okay, whatever. I'm in a cult. I like the guy. He like, it's a better cult than what you were in. The president's enforcement operations. You know, maybe we should make shirts. Yeah, I'm in a cult. So what? There you go. Can Donald Trump get a cult truck? Go, check out my cult truck. You know when he did that with the garbage truck when they called us all garbage? Y'all remember that? And he pulls up in a garbage truck. How do you like my garbage truck? It was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in all of politics. The president's enforcement operation began on Thursday, August 7th. So literally, it's only been 20 days. Dude's arrested over 1,000 people. Awesome. 2 missing children have been rescued. I got goosebumps reading that. Thank you, Mr. President. Gee, so Donald Trump finds missing children. The Democrats complain that this guy's locking people up and saving lives. All the while they voted for a guy named Joe Biden that lost 340,000 children. So we get children back. The Democrats lose 340,000 children just due to sex trafficking, forced labor, and just illegal immigration. That doesn't even include the Americans the guy lost. So yeah, already doing better. And 8 known gang members have been arrested, including MS-13 and Tren de Aragua gang members. I can't wait till this. I told you guys, I know I'm repeating myself. I cannot wait till I see the boys showing up in Chicago. I hope it's a thing. I hope they don't riot, but I mean, I hope it's a thing where like we could just live stream it together and just hang out and just watch just the mayhem, just go in there in those inner cities where they're just destroying each other and just go in and clean it up. By the way, they're picking up trash now. I'll see if I can pull up the video for that. I don't know if I like that as much, but we'll ask what you guys think in a moment. Authorities have also seized 115 firearms, the White House officials shared, and cleared 49 homeless encampments through the help of multi-agency teams. Dude, do you know how many homeless people are? These are encampments. I mean, there could be like 100 people. I go through a homeless, just so you know, to get to work every day, I drive past a massive homeless encampment every single day. I thought about, because I have to drive past it there and I got to drive past it on my way home. I've thought about just filming it for you guys, but honestly, a little bit too dangerous for me. Sorry. The whole government effort to improve public safety is a compliance with the president's March executive order, establishing the Making D.C. Safe and Beautiful task force, because the governor can't do it. You know what I mean? Or, sorry, the mayor, not the governor, but the mayor, because she sucks. She absolutely sucks. Let me see if I can get that video footage for you. Of the National Guardsmen out there picking up trash. I'll keep it muted. It's kind of loud. But yeah, they're out there cleaning up. Now, I don't know how I feel, because it's like, you know, is this what these guys signed up for? I'm not familiar with like the National Guard. I guess there could be the National Guard, right? Because they kind of deploy through various scenarios. It's just a little rough for me seeing a guy in a uniform like picking up trash, because quite frankly, everybody should be picking up their own damn trash, right? So here they are out there. I like that they're cleaning it up, but quite frankly, isn't it the people's responsibility that's living in that locality to pick up the trash? I can't even remember the last time I threw trash on the ground and just left it there. Like I will put stuff in my pocket until I see a trash can. Or I will just take it home with me or whatever, and then I'll throw it away. Do you know what I mean? I just can't, like, people are such animals sometimes where they just crap on their own city. I've never understood that. Or their own neighborhood. They'll just crap on it. They'll just throw trash everywhere. I've seen parents allow their kids to do it because there's no parenting anymore. They just let their kids do whatever because they want to be their best friends with their kids when that's not their role. Dude, if I threw trash on the ground, my parents would hit me so hard my head would spin. So, not only is he not now Donald Trump is not only cleaning up the criminals out of your localities because you don't want to do it, Democrats and some Republicans, but now he's literally cleaning your streets. It's unbelievable. Like I said, what can't this guy do? What is Donald Trump supposed to start mowing your lawns as well? Freaking lazy ass people. Yeah, I'm calling them lazy. They are. Stop throwing trash all around your locality. And once you pick it up, it's not that hard. Freaking lazy, man. Bums, dude. Bums. It is a bum mentality. So good on these guys. Shout out to the National Guard, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for all the men and women that are out there cleaning up the streets when honestly you shouldn't be doing that. Unbelievable. You want to know why people litter, right? Because there's no police officers to write them tickets. Yeah, I want you to be ticketed. Throw a $1,000 fine for littering. I get you. Things will change real quick. Yeah, $1,000. I said it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it. The lack of consequences all the time. All the time. You get hit with $1,000. I guess you're not going to be throwing that trash on the ground anymore. I don't even care if it's a cigarette butt. Unbelievable. Well, yeah, I'm a little amped already, dude. It bugs me when you can't even do the smallest things, and then you're the ones that are going to complain about the president or the Republicans or somebody else, when it's like you're the one that's contributing to the problem. But it's always easier, as we've always said, it's always easier to lack personal responsibility and just blame somebody else for your problems. Always. All right, let's get into a little bit of massive headlines here. So shout out to Donald Trump, National Guard, for making locality safe again for all of us. Well, Trump fires Fed governor setting up legal batter. Hey, it's Morty Show. Don't you judge me. Oh boy, I'm still trying to wake up here. Okay. Now, we did cover this. This is not news, but there's updates here where there is a separation between the Federal Reserve and the office of the presidency. Like there is a separation. And I think Trump's so used to the apprentice. We always, you're fired. It's still in him. It's been a long time since he's done the apprentice. He's so used to his catching, you're fired. And sometimes he'll accidentally fire people that he likes because it's like a tick. It's a twitch. Pete Hegseth will walk in the room. You're fired. Oh shit, Pete, I'm kidding. I love you, Pete. Pete, I'm so sorry. Pete, you're still here. Marco Rubio walks in. Marco, you're fired. Oh shit. Like it's a tick. So this one was not. This one was a good one. He's been building this one up for a while. So Trump fires the Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, a Biden appointee. You can tell why she sucks at her job, because any appointee from Biden sucks at their job. Citing a Department of Justice investigation into an alleged mortgage fraud, a move that Cook is refusing to accept, setting up a legal showdown. Now, on Monday, Trump fired Cook for cause. That's a quote for those on audio, citing a DOJ investigation into whether she committed mortgage fraud by allegedly claiming primary residence in 2 separate states to secure more favorable loan terms. Uh-oh. That's illegal. You can't be doing that, Lisa. Lisa sounds like she's cooking the paperwork. You see what I did there? Because her last name's Cook, Lisa Cook. She's cooking the books. You're fired. Now, look, to be fair, is it a big deal? Sure. Is it a deal that she should be getting fired over? Not really. But Donald Trump is just finding anything he can to get rid of her because she sucks. And that's what you do as a boss. You're trying to find like, you're terrible at your job. I need to find cause. There's like that famous office clip where Michael Scott is on the phone and he's trying to fire that one guy from Human Resources. And they're like, no, Michael, you need cause. And he's like, well, because I don't like him or something like that. There's a famous clip that I'm sure you've all seen. We need people that are 100% above board. And it doesn't seem like she was. Definitely not. Cook responded with a statement saying the president has no authority to do so. There's truth to that, yeah. And that she will not resign. Again, she's pulling a Leonardo DiCaprio, as we said yesterday, where she's in Wolf of Wall Street saying, I'm not leaving. I'm not effing leaving. Announcing her intention to file a lawsuit, the move marks the first time in the Fed's history that a president has removed a member of the board of governors. Trump don't care. Hey, Trump's breaking records left and right, securing the border, making your city safe again, getting men out of women's sports, all sorts of stuff, stopping doctors from transing and lopping off your kids' genitals and castrating them. The guy's a remarkable being. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care. Now, are there things that he's done that I don't like? Absolutely. And we'll see if we'll break that down again. We covered it yesterday in Dark MAGA, but not everybody's here during Dark MAGA. And if you're sitting here going, Brad, what's Dark MAGA? It's our evening podcast that we do every Tuesdays and Thursdays, where we break down more news for you and go over long form video. And if you're not there, well, we would love for you to come hang out with us. It's there for you. So if you can't make the mornings, Come hang out in the evenings. Trump calls for more Chinese students in universities. Doesn't it show you that I don't read this stuff ahead of time because it's like, oh, we'll cover this later. Well, here it is now. Here it is now. This is when I said, oh, there's things that Trump does that I don't like. This is exactly what I was talking about. For some reason, there is like an entertainment god out there that just guides me spiritually. You know what I mean? Really. That is a remarkable thing that this was the next thing up and that I just so happened to be talking about it a few seconds ago. How many times has that happened here? A lot. Now, I don't like this. I'm going to say this again. This is stupid. Mr. President, this is stupid. Trump calls for more students in universities, but what more students? More Chinese students. Check this out. And we'll play the video clip again yesterday. And let me know if any of your opinions have changed since yesterday, and that's 100% okay. I would just like to know your reasoning because maybe you'll change my opinion too. In a surprising policy shift that has drawn criticism from allies, meaning Republicans, conservative, Trump supporters, President Trump called for raising the quota for Chinese nationals allowed to study in the United States to 600,000. Now, if you're unaware, there's been a lot of espionage. There's been a lot of data stealing. There's been a lot of classified material being thefted, stolen at these universities because they do research there. There's been them bringing in like bad virus stuff in the United States that would wipe out your plant, crop, and all that other stuff. This is a huge I can't believe he did this. I mean, this does not make sense to me. The president defended the move in a cabinet meeting, arguing, listen to this, that many less prestigious universities, meaning the bottom like 10, 15%, would not survive financially without the revenue from Chinese students. That's his reasoning? I'm sorry, man. That ain't work for me. That is not a good enough reason to start importing a bunch of students. And again, not only is it a national security issue, you are bringing, and by the way, that doesn't mean these Chinese students are going to the bottom universities. If anybody knows about Chinese students, folks, they take their education actually serious, unlike we do here in the United States, meaning they're going to get in the top positions at the universities. And guess what happens to Americans? They get lowered down. Why? And also, by the way, if you're a foreign student, guess what? More money for these universities. So yeah, they're all salivating right now at the mouth because they're going to get some foreign students up there at Harvard, Yale. Yeah, and then you all get pushed down. So Americans, once again, are second-class citizens in their own country, basically. The proposal has drawn criticism from some conservatives who worry about the national security risks, including the theft of technology and research by students with ties to the Chinese Communist Party. Yes. None of this is wrong, by the way. The only person that's wrong here, in my belief, is President Trump on this. And I love the guy. Doesn't mean my opinion's changed about him. You can make mistakes. Look, you hit 100 good ones. You just, I don't know what happened here, sir. But I don't like this. Me no likey. Like that? Me no likey. There you go. Chinese. Me ra rocky. People get upset when you do that. It's okay. It's okay. It's satire. It's a joke. It's a joke, meaning you're not serious. It's okay. We could say that. The move also appears to contrast with the administration's previously announced hardline stance by Marco Rubio, where he would aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students who are connected to the CCP or are studying in critical fields. So let's go to the chat. Because there are times, as I've mentioned in the past, where literally my entire audience will disagree with me. And that's okay. And the beauty of it is, guess what? My audience is still here and they still watch the show. Why? Because we're friends and friends can disagree and love each other. In the same way I can disagree with Trump and still like him and vote for him. All righty. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree that this is a good idea. Put a 2 in the chat if you think, hell no, this is a dumb idea, Mr. President. This is stupid. Just curious on what all of you are going to say. Because, just curious. Let's see what people do. Wow. Okay. Mizzy has trigger finger. She was quick with that too. And she held it down. And Karen too. People are breaking their keyboards right now. They're just like as hard as you can. A lot of 2s. Yep. I figured. Look, usually we're not far apart on this. You know what I mean? Sometimes like it's rare, but, and hopefully I didn't inject bias in you of like, well, if Brad doesn't like it, I'm gonna do it too. I don't think anybody in here is like that. Chris said a 3. There's always 1. That wasn't an option, Chris. Come on. Brad called me a friend. Love you too. I love you. Yeah, you guys are friends, of course. Now, I don't know you in real life. You can be totally psychos and like putting on lipstick. You know, the guys are putting on lipstick, threatening, like thinking about killing me and chopping me up because you could be a psycho. But I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that. Don't do that, please. I like my life. I like living. I don't struggle with anything. I think statistically, based on the amount of viewers I have, I think there's one person that actually is like a psychologically messed up that like is like that. But hey, to each their own. Do not harm me. I'm not going to pretend to know everything about the situation. Yeah, but I mean, I know that's built in the cake. That's baked into the cake that we don't know everything about the situation. But with that in mind, you'd still pick something. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to be right here. I mean, dude, I do a show. I give my opinion every now and then. I'm wrong like half the time. But that's the fun of it all. A lot of twos. Okay, we're on agreement here. All right, moving on. So maybe, I think he's going to change, by the way. I don't think he's going to push through. I think he's going to realize, like, oh, shit. No, I think I messed up, Pete. Pete, I think I messed up. He starts crying. All right. Well, the Department of Transportation, we haven't heard from Sean Duffy in a while. The last thing I heard about Sean Duffy was he was looking into UFOs. No, I'm not kidding. Like a week or two ago. You mentioned a Brady Judd video. Phoebe, I can't find it. Or maybe did I love Sheriff Brady? Oh, interesting. All right. Following a fatal crash in Florida causing an illegal immigrant. Caused by an illegal immigrant. I think this was this the one where they made the U-turn and that van just crashed into the side of it? It says here, the Department of Transportation is cracking down on states that issue commercial driver's license to truckers who are not proficient in English. That's weird. That's a weird one. The move comes after this individual, sounds like an Indian name, an illegal immigrant from, there you go, illegal immigrant from India. You know, when you're right, you're right. Killed 3 people in a crash caused by an illegal U-turn. Okay, so it is that one. You got a driver's license from a sanctuary state. I think it was California, wasn't it, or something like that? Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced that states currently in violation of the executive order requiring English proficiency, such as Washington, California, New Mexico, have 30 days to come into the compliance or risk losing federal funding. We just want to keep drivers safe. Well, how about you don't give driver's license to illegal immigrants? That would sound probably more appropriate, in my opinion. This seems kind of odd. We're not okay, some people are like, well, Brad, this makes sense. No, I don't think you understand. Folks, there is a huge swath of the country, actual American citizens that are not proficient in English. That's why I stopped. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. There has to be more to this. Folks, if you look at how many adults can't read a child's book to their children, you're going to fall out of your chair. It's not 5%. It's not 10%. It's not 20%. Go look up that number at ChatGPT on how many can't read like a 6th grade book to their children. Yeah, they're not proficient in English, and it's only getting worse, by the way. That's why I think it's weird. Again, make more sense of, you illegal immigrant, you get no license. How about that? Why? Because, well, you shouldn't have a license in the first place because you shouldn't be here in the first place. I mean, the probability of you getting in an auto accident is 0 because you're not supposed to have one. So just another weird thing happening. A lot of weird stuff is happening lately. And I don't know if it's because there's a lot of foreign affairs taking place and a lot of movement in terms of puzzle pieces trying to fit and place together to get these peace initiatives done and these deals done. I mean, that's what happens. So maybe that's why you're getting these Chinese students, is maybe Donald Trump's trying to negotiate a deal with China. And then you got him trying to negotiate deals with India. Hell, I don't know. Well, speaking of illegal immigration, we got a milestone here with Kristi Noem. She's a rocket, by the way. She's had a glow up since being like in the spotlight. I don't know if you've seen what she used to look like. She looked like kind of like an 80s mom before. She looks pretty good now. Well, it's because this is what conservatism does to you. It makes you more beautiful. We have the United States Border Patrol and Immigration's Customs Enforcement have executed arrests of 5,000 illegal aliens in Los Angeles since June. Now, there's like millions there. So, I mean, it's really just a drop in the bucket. It's not really much at all. But I'm going to take wins where I can get them. Sometimes it's the small wins. And I told you, we're going to try to be positive today. You're like, well, Brad, you just hounded Trump for Chinese stuff. Yeah, I know. But that's the way things go every now and then. Okay. But positivity. 5,000 illegal aliens in Los Angeles. Daily Wire can first report, and Homeland Security Kristi Noem has a message for criminals, illegal aliens that are criminals in the United States. This is just the beginning. Now, I'm waiting for all that money from the big, beautiful bill to start pouring in so that we can start getting this ramped up. So I'm expecting by next year, a lot of this stuff to change in a positive way. I want to see this number here like quadruple. That's what I want to see. 20,000, in a month. I want to see at least 10,000 in a day. It's not realistic, but it's a nice thought. I want to see planes flying over that are no longer used for FedEx or DHL. You know what I mean? And just going, yep, there it is. There's like 200 of them. There's another 200. And just flying over. Like it looks like D-Day. You know what I mean? Like, oh boy. Because then I'm going to feel safe again. The 5,000th. Wow. I got a flat tongue. Sometimes you might think my tongue is swollen. The way I read. That's one thing that sucks about having a show that you have a hard out at 7 is you feel like you're rushed. And when you're rushed, you're like, I'm Brad Ball Sad Show. Welcome to my channel. Also, my throat's a little dry. The 5,000th arrest in Los Angeles. That's a hard one to say in the morning. Stop it in the chat. I see you there. Hey, don't you judge me. Los Angeles is an individual. Oh, wow. They know the guy. Do you think that he got a prize? His name is Gustavo Garcia Miranda. You know how hold on, everybody come in powwow really quick. Hold on. No, this is important. You guys know how sometimes you're like the 5,000th customer and you walk in and you're just out there and you're just there to get your wife staples. She's breathing down your neck. I need staples, John. Go out there and get them for me. I can't, she's on her. She's just upset. She's just nagging the shit out of you. So you're in the heat out there in the desert and you find the local staples and you're sweating your ass off and finally you make it in and then boom, the confetti goes off and you're like, what's happening? And then they start playing the music, the YMCA music. Down, 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 down. And then everybody's like, yay, John. And you're like, what the fuck's happening? Do you think you got something like that, but it was at the border where the confetti cannon shot off and he's like 5,000s, right? And Donald Trump's like having him hit a piñata or something. Okay, we're having a little bit of fun. People are gonna get upset that I did. I'm having a little bit of fun with Gustavo, okay? He's fine. He's just he's a criminal illegal alien. He's convicted of drug trafficking. Isn't it amazing that Democrats will get upset with me joking that this guy's getting deported and he's like a winning customer basically, but he's known to traffic drugs and probably be responsible for killing like a bunch of Americans and they're going to get their panties in a bunch over it. It's so crazy. Guy could be a serial killer and they'll still be upset over it. Guy's probably killed 1,000 people. You know what I mean? Just in theory, like there could be a guy that killed 1,000 people and they'll be upset over you making a joke about this guy being a grand prize winner of the 50th 5,000th illegal alien to be deported or whatever. People are psychos. Wouldn't it be great? You know what I mean? Like they give him a bat to hit the piñata with and all that drops out is his handcuffs. Put him on, Gustavo. See you later, buddy. All righty, there's that one for you. Oh, there he is. Oh, we get to see Gustavo. Whenever I think of Gustavo, I think of the guy from the Disney movie with the rat. What the hell is that? Ratatouille. There he is. Look at those sneakers. The guy has nicer shoes than I do. I'm going to say it, and you might disagree. Very comfy looking clothes. I don't know what material that is, but some of us would kill to sit on the couch on a weekend, putting our gross feet on the couch and just watching some football. You know what I mean? And some of you little weirdos, are into watching the new guys dancing in the football. Probably Krager and probably Jeff. I'm throwing people I could take the punches. And probably Dizzy and a few, maybe David in here. I don't know. Want to watch that one guy prance around on the Vikings cheerleading team. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know. So anyways, that looks comfy. Well, he's out of here. Good for Kristi Noem. Thank you, Mr. President, for making everybody safe again. Love it. Love it. All righty, let's get into other stuff here. Let's get into a little bit of rando stuff for just a moment here. Kind of reset. You're going to like this. Gas prices are down.
The Pennsylvania Turnpike Administration is gearing up for a busy weekend, especially as gas prices are the cheapest they've been over Labor Day since 2020.
Hold on a second. I was told, as were all of us, for months, months, plural, that Donald Trump's going to destroy the economy. Is the drill baby drill working?
2020, a day since 2020. They've been over Labor Day since 2020, according to Gas Buddy. And it's not just gas that's down nationally. AAA is also reporting that domestic round-trip flights are cheaper than last year, as well as hotel and car rentals. The Pennsylvania Turnpike Administration is gearing up for a busy weekend, especially as gas prices are the cheapest they've been over Labor Day.
Huh. Weird. Incredible. Huh. Just travel around the country's down. Gas prices are down. Hotels are down. Airfares down. Nice. Groceries are down. Huh. I was told none of this was going to happen. I was told we were going to go into depression. Yeah, matter of fact, let's find the exact date on when they started spewing that garbage. Hold on, I'll be able to find it for you. I can actually show you the exact date that we were hearing all this bogus stuff. There's going to be a depression. You're going to lose all your money. It's game over. Oh, it's so terrible. Yeah, I'll show you right now. It was right here in the data. So when was this? It was about April 2nd. Roughly April 2nd, April 3rd. This is when they started spewing all that garbage. You're going to start eating the leather off grandma's shoes. You're going to have to start eating grandma's bunions that she's put between her gross ass toes. Ugh. No. I'm not making that up. That's what they told me. I get hounded on social media by these psychos all the time. And I was told we would never recover. I was told, though, the economy's crashing. Donald Trump's an idiot. Look what he's doing. Weird, though, that we're back up. I mean, the highest it's ever been in history of the market, but we can't talk about that, can we? Yeah, we were all here together. You're right. Yes, we were all here together when we all had to be told that we were cold, fascist, racist, black people are hurting because you're racist. I mean, all sorts of stuff we were being called. It's typical. I mean, we're used to it. We're numb to it, basically. So the market's doing great. Trump's doing great. Let's keep this going for the next, I don't know, ever. Now, if you get a Democrat office, don't hold on to that. But here's some more good news that you guys are going to really, really love. We have 81% of Americans say crime is a major problem in large cities. Well, good thing you got a president that wants to solve it. Isn't that great? Love this. So he wanted to solve energy prices, gas prices, and which, by the way, when you get those prices figured out, that hopefully causes at least a stagnation in terms of the growth of the price of a good, the inflation of the good, or it could cause it to decrease too. All positives. Well, if most people see a problem and why this is good for us, that crime is a major issue in large cities, well, when Donald Trump starts sending in the National Guard and cleaning up that crime problem, well, guess what people are going to love? The guy that wears this hat, the Make America Great Again hat, baby. Donald J. Trump, which guess what? Moves people into becoming Democrats and independents to registered Republicans, baby. Why? Because all we want is law and order. All we want is people to get along. And that's it. And stop acting like a bunch of psychos. Because when there isn't law and order, people act crazy. Now, here's the clip that I was going to show you. Speaking of law and order, speaking of crime and bringing things together, here's a D.C. resident talking about what I was mentioning earlier. And I told you I'd find you the clip of her saying, it's just different. It's nice. Here we go.
So right now I'm down here in Union Station, as you can see behind me. Yes. And I walked through Union Station. It was different. See, I'm from D.C. I live here. So I can tell you, I can be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. It was nice. I don't even want to leave. Union Station, they literally, it feels different. Like usually when I walk through, it's got this odd darkness. It's like you're walking through some sort of demi hood at night. And now it feels more light, upbeat. It definitely feels safe. But see, I can say that because I'm from here. A lot of people that are here protesting, they're not from here. They don't even live here. So they wouldn't know on a day-to-day basis like I would and some of the other DC natives. But yeah, I even saw U.S. Marshals up in Silver Spring. They rolled up on somebody. When I say they were stealthy, They were in regular cars. I'm not going to say too much.
Unmarked cars.
They were in regular cars.
Good.
I saw this guy throwing up these middle fingers. I was like, what's he doing? Is he tweaking? And I look, I kind of faced where he's turned, and I see like 8 marshals, right?
Hell yeah.
And they got like 2 or 3 people.
By the way, there's something about when ladies wear the bows that always gets me. It's very girly. It always gets, the guys love it, by the way. Like, so that's why guys love sundresses and the bows in the hair. It's very like, you know, the old school 40s and 50s style. Guys eat that stuff up, ladies. There's a tip for all of you. A tip, not tit. Careful.
They were silent. Silent. And this is Maryland. Well, it's still considered the DMV because it's the metropolitan area, but it's Maryland. And they're doing their work. The tax dollars at work.
I like this girl, dude.
Union Station literally feels cleaner. It's nicer.
And by the way, it probably smells a lot better. When you're clearing out 49 homeless encampments, dude, you could smell homeless encampments from blocks away. Oh, it will hit you. I've always shared this. When I used to work up in above LA, I used to drive like 30 something miles to get to work every day. And if anybody knows that, you're like, Brad, that's only like a 30, 40-minute drive. No, not in LA traffic. It ain't. Not in LA traffic. You going 25 miles an hour, going 30 something miles. You let me know how you do the math on that one. Some days it would take me 3 hours to get home, and that's not an exaggeration. And I didn't have any AC in my Honda back then. I'm just breathing out the window. So with that being said, you're on the 710 and there's so much homeless that you can't see them, right? You're on the highway and you're on a crawl. You know what I mean? You're sweating your you-know-what off. And you can just smell it in the air, dude. It's disgusting. Bad. But Brad, homelessness is not a crime. How dare you? I know. For us, it would be, right? If I was to go take my sleeping bag and my tent that I have for camping out there on the street, guess who would get arrested really quick and pulled by the ankles and the feet and shackled up and carried off? This guy. All the while, there's a guy defecating next to the police officers, throwing his caca on buildings, and he's fine. Yeah, that guy could literally, you can have a scenario where I'm being dragged. Just imagine that. Me being dragged by the ankles as I'm in my boxer briefs. You know what I mean? And not even getting rug burn. You're getting like cement burn. You know what I mean? They're just dragging you out of your tent and you're kicking. No! All the while, Jimmy Crack Corn, Johnny Bag of Donuts is right there crapping into his hand and throwing it like a monkey against the wall. And he's fine. And two feet over, you're the one being arrested. And I'm as serious as a heart attack, man. That stuff. Now, not literally, but that stuff, similar stuff happens in terms of like parking, getting towed, all sorts of stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I wanted to share this with you. Now, it doesn't really impact you guys as much, but it does go in tune with the gerrymandering thing. Now, I want to know what you all know in terms of California here really quick. Because California and Texas, right, are with gerrymandering right now. They're having a battle. And Politico posted this article, and I'll show you in a moment. Just what you guys know about Orange County, California is Orange County, California, is it Democrat or is it Republican? I want to know what you all know, because maybe you're like, I don't even know what Orange County is, dude. I've never heard of it. Shut up, Brad, and just tell me. Brad, I don't pay you money every month to keep quizzing me. By the way, speaking of that, while I'm waiting for you, because there's a slight delay between when you guys see me say something versus what shows up in the chat. If you want to become a member, I would really love your support. We're always looking for more memberships to help support the show. It's only me, but there's a lot of people that do support the show, whether it's through my website or there. Don't feel like you have to. It's not me begging for money. But if you feel like you're getting something out of this and you want to support a Patriot, we have memberships over on YouTube, and primarily would love for you over at Rumble. That way you get Dark MAGA. I'm trying to get everybody over at YouTube to Rumble so you get more content, if that makes sense. Yeah, it is GOP. Good. Okay. So, yeah, Kenneth took a guess. That's fair. Kenneth, wake up! But Kenneth, it's not Democrat, it's Republican. Now, with that in mind, it's like known. Like if you ever been to Huntington Beach, where I go a lot, that's where like James Klug does a lot of his on the street interviews. That's where I bought this mug, is Huntington. I go down there like probably almost like every weekend, every other weekend. I try to get down there. It's MAGA country. You are seeing MAGA hats, Trump hats, like no other. Okay, like there's always like people, like hundreds of people waving Trump flags. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's the safest place you'll ever be. It's beautiful. There's no trash anywhere. It's awesome. Okay. With that being said, check this out. So there's this article that's posted by Politico. Listen to this. California Republican leader calls for two-state solution amid redistricting battle. So basically what he's trying to do is split California to become 2 states. Now, I've heard doing like Northern California, Southern California, kind of like you did with Carolina, like North Dakota, South Dakota, and stuff like that. But instead of doing North and South, watch this redistricting map. This is what it looks like. So it basically cuts it like vertically and gives all the Democrats pretty much the coastal areas. Now, I'll tell you why for two things I have a problem with this. The first one's which, you see that little sliver there? That's Orange County. Why is Orange County blue? What? No. No, sir. I live in Orange County, by the way. No. Don't put me with these blue guys. I came to Orange County for a reason. I don't want to be part of LA and Ventura, the garbage areas. No. They don't know how to run anything. By the way, shout out to Karen in San Diego, one of our moderators. Yeah, you can stay blue, Karen, sucker. By the way, no, but in all honesty, Orange County and San Diego should be red. Now, San Diego has gone blue, to be fair. It is blue now. It used to be red way back in the day. But if you were to San Diego, completely crippled now because it's blue. Orange County is red. Just want to be clear on that. Now, why is the second reason also, not only does Orange County do I want it to go red, because it is, but also, you guys, if let's just say in theory the state was split, right down here. Anybody want to guess why that's also a problem? It's because Democrats are the ones that's going to be running the freight and shipping. So one of the biggest ports in the world is Long Beach. So when I go to like Huntington Beach, I just see shipping ships right off my coast, like a mile off my coast, just shipping. I mean, when COVID happened, you guys, it was like a parking lot. It looked crazy. It looked like we were being invaded, basically. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen because I grew up here. So you could see from Huntington Beach Pier, you could see Seal Beach Pier, you could see Long Beach on a clear day. It's very easy to see. Well, I don't want them handling all that. So I would like to have Orange County, you know what I mean, kind of pop in here and maybe, I don't know, handle some sort of freight or shipping. I don't want to give these guys it. Can you imagine what they're going to do? So anyways, that's what they want. Is it going to happen? No, but it's interesting. It's still interesting. Giving freaking Orange County to the Democrats. What a bunch of scumbag. By the way, whoever that Republican is an idiot. If you're putting that forward, it's going to get me riled up. I don't want to be thrown to the wolves. I didn't do anything wrong. So there's that for you. Speaking of that, we have Democrats are effectively taking a let crime be stance as they push back on President of the United States efforts to make America a city safer. I'm like with all of you. I try to rationalize on my free time why they're pushing this position, but do it anyways, because it's just going to lead to more votes for us.
I'm puzzled that Democrats, rather than coming forward, make a compromise, come out with a counter plan, try to figure out some joint message, just seem to be putting themselves, almost on the side of being, hey, just let crime be. And that, of course, is a disastrous policy for the party and the country. I'm puzzled.
This guy's right. Wait, okay. His name's Mark Penn. He's the Harris Poll chairman. He's puzzled too. Can I just hear that again, just for indulge me? Because this is called confirmation bias. And it just makes you feel better. Okay, hold on a second. I need to hear this for myself. Maybe some of you too, but mostly for me.
I'm puzzled that Democrats,
yes, Mark,
rather than coming forward, make a compromise, come out with a counter plan, try to figure out some joint message, just seem to be putting themselves, almost on the side of being, hey, just let crime be. And that, of course, is a disastrous policy for the.
I'll tell you what, it's a game changer listening to this guy's voice and speaking common sense in your ears. I put on my headphones. This is 7.1 surround sound. You know what people listen to, those like that deep voice while you're going to sleep? There's a little bit of maybe white noise in the background. Just close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Think about yourself being weightless and you're floating through the clouds. This is like that for me. You know what I mean? It's common sense. It's a little bit of Zen. And the guy's right. He's spot on. Spot on. Now, we played a clip yesterday. Let me see if I can bring that back up for you. Brandon Johnson on Joe Scarborough show. And yeah, I'm going to play it again because it it's important. But two, it makes you want to put your head through drywall. We're going to play this whole thing because a lot of people did not see this. Send a video to Brad. Yeah, you guys can send videos to me. Just send them to me on X if you want. I will take a peeky. So here's Brandon Johnson. And I didn't give enough credit to Joe Scarborough. I think the guy could be a knucklehead most of the time. I love how he presses Brandon Johnson here regarding just asking, hey, would it be a good idea to put more police in Chicago? Yeah.
That the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago.
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you that all of these other...
And remember, Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, wants to remove driver's license for people that are not proficient in English. Mr. Duffy, I think you're right. Actually, I go ahead and take back everything I said previously. You're right. Because he would not be able to drive. And honestly, I think if you're not English proficient, you shouldn't be able to run for office. Because this guy can't answer a basic question. And that is why Chicago and Illinois and all these idiots running the show over there are crippling that whole area, is because this is the guy. This is the best you got. This is the best you got. There's no wondering anymore. It makes sense. You went from Lori Lightfoot to this nut job. He sucks.
Social programs are extraordinarily important. I just need a yes or a no, and then this will be the last time I ask. If you get all of those other social programs that 800 million that New York City does, Los Angeles, other people do with great success, would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported. I don't believe that just simply putting out an arbitrary number around police officers is the answer.
Folks, I just want to point out this is a layup of a question. Literally a layup, and the guy can't do it. And it's odd to me because this used to happen to like Jen Psaki, where Jen Psaki would get a layup of a question. That's obvious, right? Like it just totally makes sense for you to say, yeah, I think more police is a great idea. We would love to get more police out there and check it out. So I don't know why. It's kind of like what that other guy Mark said. I did check the X post. I don't have Facebook, so I can't play the Facebook clip. I apologize. But if you find that clip somewhere else, I could maybe try to play it, Miss Mom. Yeah, so some of you guys send me, it's not just you. I think Danielle sends me a lot of Facebook stuff. You guys, I don't have Facebook to do stuff with, so unfortunately. But if you have it like on X or something like that, I could play it. I never understand. I just don't get layups. Like, dude, obviously you should bring in more police officers. If you're bringing the National Guard, which is, by the way, basically more police officers in a way, it's more law enforcement. Well, gee, it's amazing how crime goes down. I don't even know if DC has seen a murder still. I hope not. I'm not asking for it, but I hope not. All righty. Where's some other stuff here that we can cover really quick? Let's do one more article really fast. Here we go. So let's get some Russia updates going on. So U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that he is prepared to impose economic sanctions against Russia if its president, Vladimir Putin, fails to agree to a ceasefire in the war of Ukraine. Now, I don't know how long he's willing to take. There was rumors when he originally met with Putin that him and Zelensky, meaning Putin and Zelensky, were going to meet in 2 weeks. I think that came from Italy's head, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It was kind of like something that was leaked or kind of talked about like on a sidebar thing. So we'll see. I guess in 2 weeks would be, I don't know if it's either this week or next week. It's very, very serious what I have in mind if I have to do it, but I want to see it end. We have economic sanctions. I'm talking about economic because we're not going to get into a world war. And I don't think anybody wants that. And that's usually been the appetite for Americans, by the way. Americans traditionally, throughout history, have not wanted war. Like if you go back and you look at how World War II was in terms of trying to get us involved, Americans across the board did not want to get involved in Europe whatsoever, even though Winston Churchill was like begging FDR, that practically painting and licking his toenails to get into World War II. And FDR's like, look, the American people don't want it. And obviously you had Pearl Harbor to get us into the Pacific with the Japanese. Even then, Americans still did not want to get into Europe. Even then. So we just never really had an appetite for it. And we still don't. And rightfully so, because it's our young men are going to have to go fight this stuff. And when you run out of young men, guess what? Then it's young women, then it's over. But mostly it's young men. So the president has withheld threatened sanctions against Putin in his latest push to end more than a 3-year-long war. Now, again, I always bring up this, and I don't have the answer for you, still nobody does, that, the sanctions and tariffs aren't really going to do all that much, especially when they're working with China. And by the way, you have some of these allies of ours that are two-faced that are still going to do dealings with Russia. So it's meaningless. And that's why the reporter during the White House press conference asked that question of, hey, well, we don't really have that much involvement in terms of dealings with Russia and tariffs. So just because you impose these things on them doesn't really mean all that much. So it doesn't really do anything. So I think that was a great question. And unfortunately, we didn't really get an answer from it. And I didn't like that whatsoever. So we'll keep you updated, obviously, on everything that's going on with Russia. Let's see if there's any breaking news. I always like to do this at the end of the show to see if I'm missing anything for all of you. SpaceX Starship nails 10th flight. Don't really care. Cracker Barrel. Oh, if you weren't there during Dark MAGA, Cracker Barrel reversed its logo. So they changed their logo, right? And everybody lost their ish. They lost over $143 million, by the way. And then now they reversed it back. So you got old Cracker Barrel guy back on there. So they're keeping their logo now. But damage is done, by the way. It's kind of one of those things is you already shot yourself in the foot. And I guess the analogy would be like Bud Light, right? Bud Light had Dylan Mulvaney, a guy that thinks he's a woman, even though he's not. He could dress up as one, but he's not a woman. Drinking Bud Light. Pissed everybody off. Bud Light goes down. They have to lay off a bunch of staff, and they still haven't fully recovered. And well, Bud Light then starts pumping out commercials that are kind of old school, right? Like Americana commercials. But it's kind of like a slap in the face because it's like, do you really think we're that dumb? Like you've already pushed a certain ideology. I think it's going to be the same thing with Cracker Barrel. Damage is done. It's going to take a long time to kind of get back to where you were. I would say, I think in the market they are, but we're going to see where things go because I know a lot of people aren't really going to go back to Cracker Barrel. So there was a great one that we saw. Where was the one? Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Look at this.
Getting backlash. Cracker Barrel spending $700 million on a rebranding plan.
They spent $700 million on a rebranding plan only to erase 143 million in market value.
That they say will turn the product from old rustic to perhaps more modern streamlined. Customers say that's just a giant helping of biscuits and bologna. They don't like it. So after a week's worth of backlash, the Tennessee-based company did put out an apology statement of sorts, which said, in part, quote, "We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we'll keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees."
I want to point out that there was an article that we covered during Dark MAGA yesterday that there was like a big investor that had a PowerPoint presentation that he gave to Cracker Barrel. And he basically said, this is going to flop if you guys do this. You're going to have a major flop if you guys do this. So they're not listening is the thing. No, they're not. No, they're listening to their executives, these people that are probably DEI hires. No, they're not listening to anybody but themselves. And this is the same thing you get with Disney. They're not listening to their customers. No, they're not. We're all bitching, moaning, complaining about their Marvel movies that they've been creating for the last, 5 years, the Star Wars movies, the Pixar movies. They're not listening to anybody. They're not listening. They're listening to maybe some of their employees, the employees that they agree with, which is pushing this woke crap. Come on, give me a break. You even listen to one of the main investors. You spent $700 million on a rebranding that didn't need to be rebranded. This is a stupid logo, by the way. It's terrible. There's no flavor. You're a food brand. There's no flavor. Can I just mention something? I was driving past the Del Taco the other day. Rebranded it, by the way. Del Taco looks great. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it for all of you. Del Taco's new brand. I'm good with the video, by the way. Del Taco new building. It looks like fresh. Let me see if I can find it for you. Oh, come on. You got to have a Del Taco building somewhere. Where's a new one? If you haven't seen the new Del Taco, it's very bright and vibrant, and it looks like you get the idea of being fresh. Del Taco restaurant. Let's see. Maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the new Del Tacos, oh, come on. There's not a single freaking picture of what a Del Taco building looks like. A new one? You got to be kidding me. Well, it's basically the colors of Del Taco, where it's like there's like that sun that's yellow, it's green like a lime, and they have it on the outside of the building. And when you look at it, you're like, man, I just think that it's fresh now. It just looks appealing to me, and it's not like that old color. So I can't find a picture of it, but I think some of you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Cracker Barrel, it just doesn't look appealing. It looks like you guys said in the chat the other day, it looks like a belt buckle. It's bland. And then when I think about that, it's like, well, is your food going to be bland too? Maybe I'm looking too far into it. But anyways, with that, it's a boring sign. It is a boring sign. Yeah. I wonder if that investor got out. If not, he's going to be pissed. yeah, Craig, you're right. Absolutely. Love Del Taco's new page. Yeah, see, okay, so Mahila, I always mispronounce your name, but I know who you are. I know who you are, but I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. I keep asking, but I can't remember. But yeah, absolutely. It looks good. You know, for a fast food restaurant, a little quirky, but it kind of makes you want to salsa dance a little bit. You know what I mean? Just bring out the hips and the shoulders a little bit. But anywho, all right, enough of that. I'm going too far with this. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with more news. By the way, our audience is growing each and every day. We're growing here on Rumble and YouTube. At least our lives are, and that trend's going to continue. So always appreciate the audience that we've built here, showing up each and every morning for the Bald Brad Show and getting the news. And I really value your guys' community. Thank you so much for always allowing me to hang out with you. You're not really hanging out with me. I'm hanging out with you. So I will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Hopefully there's a bunch more good news. Let's keep those gas prices going down, the energy prices going down, and making America great again and safe again. With that being said, pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Become a member over at the Bald Brad Show. Make your donations if you can over at baldbrad.com. There's a donation tab up at the top right. Help and support would be greatly appreciated. And folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.